Today, we're diving into the complex topic of youth unemployment and its societal roots. There's a question that often comes up. Is it just the mindset of young people that's holding them back? Or is there something deeper in the structure of society causing the issue?
That's a great question. It's not just about individual mindsets, right? The structure of society plays a huge role in how opportunities are distributed. We often see that problems don't come from just one source. They're part of a larger system where everything's interconnected. Would you agree?
Absolutely. There's a principle that says when something goes wrong, it's never just one thing. The error spreads across different areas, like a 40-30-30 rule. If you're struggling, you have to recognize your own part of the fault. If the government's struggling, they own part of that. But businesses also have their share.
It's really eye-opening, isn't it? So if we're struggling, we can't just blame the system, right? We have to start by looking at our own actions first and acknowledging our part. Only then can we understand the whole picture.
Exactly. Society may be wrong, but the issue can be divided. We each have to acknowledge our part in it, especially when it comes to finding a job. It's all about preparation. It's like when you go to a party. Some people bring food to share, while others just take it all. It's about giving and receiving in the right balance.
So, in this context, young people looking for jobs should start by looking at their own contribution to the issue, right? It's not just about complaining or blaming the government or businesses.
Exactly. And that brings us to the question, are young people really looking for a job, or are they just looking to make money quickly? There's a difference, right? When you look for a job to make money, you're not necessarily looking for a fulfilling role that adds value to society.
And that's the trap, isn't it? If young people only focus on money, they're not considering long term growth or stability. Society won't provide opportunities just for people chasing a paycheck.
Yes, and speaking of opportunities, let's talk about 3D industries, those jobs that are dirty, difficult, and dangerous. A lot of young people avoid them, but is this really the path they should avoid? After all, these jobs are often filled by people from poorer countries, right?
Exactly. We often hear that young people shouldn't go into 3D industries. But are we really too good for those jobs? Some people argue that those in poorer countries are doing them because they have no other choice. Do we have the right to avoid such roles when things are tough for us?
Well, it's about perspective. If you're in a wealthy country, you can't compare yourself to someone in a poorer nation, right? Those people may not have the same opportunities we do, but here we have different things to offer. We have skills and resources that can be put to better use.
So, is the real issue that we're not thinking critically about the choices we make? Like, if we're not preparing for the right kind of work, we're not going to find the right job.
Yes, and that leads to the next point about entrepreneurship. Some people argue that young people should be starting businesses, but is that really the best path for them, especially when they're so young?
That's another big one. In some countries, young people can start businesses at an early age and succeed, like in the US. But here, in our country, there's a different mindset. People might look at a young entrepreneur and think, what does that kid know about business? It's about respect and understanding that success isn't just about being young and bold, it's about experience.
Exactly. And let's talk about this idea of entrepreneurship. While some universities are encouraging students to start their own businesses, the reality is that most of them will fail. Only a small percentage manage to make it, and that's a hard pill to swallow.
So, does that mean young people should focus on gaining experience first before trying to start a business?
Yes, I believe that young people should focus on their careers first, maybe in their 30s, when they've had time to learn the ropes, before diving into entrepreneurship. That's the stage where you're more likely to succeed. It's not about rushing into things without preparation.
It makes sense. Success in entrepreneurship often comes from years of experience, learning from failures, and building a network. But if you try to jump into it too early, you might just set yourself up for failure.
Exactly. And it's the same for everyone. If we don't take the time to build ourselves up, we can't expect to succeed. Society, too, has its seasons. There are times of growth, and there are times of hardship. If we don't prepare for those challenges, we won't make it through the tough winters.
So the key is patience, right? Focus on building your skills, experience, and understanding the system before trying to change it. Without that, you're just setting yourself up for a crash.
Absolutely. Only when you've gone through the proper steps can you truly succeed in today's world. And that's the journey each young person needs to take if they want to thrive, not just survive.
It's definitely a lesson for all of us, whether we're young or old. We need to be patient, build up our skills, and learn to look at the bigger picture before jumping to conclusions.
Well said. And I hope our listeners take away this message of preparation, patience, and self reflection. It's the foundation for success in a challenging world.
Agreed. It's been an insightful conversation today. Let's keep thinking critically and moving forward one step at a time.